Hi, it's Colette. Welcome back to my channel, and this is the weekly tarot card for the week commencing Monday the 11th of June 2018, and it's the Queen of Swords. Let's get that to the camera. Absolutely beautiful in the Rohrig deck, as you can see. Let's see if I can get this without the light on it. Yeah. If you can see, the face of the Queen has masks in front of it. There's still one mask on, and that's important to the card. It's almost got a very theatre-y effect on it. So anyway, Queen of Swords for this week. Now we had the Ace of Swords, then the Two of Swords for last week, and now the Queen of Swords. So the last 3 weeks have been swords cards, and swords represents our thoughts, our mental capacities, our will, and basically everything to do with the mind, the brain, communication, voice. And to have 3 in a row can be an indication that we're all a wee bit frazzled in our minds at the moment, because there are 3 other suits, you know. So theoretically we should almost, you know, if it was sort of arithmetically, it would be 1 of each suit for the 4 weeks of the month, but 3 out of 4, well, 3 out of 3 weeks have simply, the last 3 weeks have simply been swords. So watch your mental health. If you feel that there's a lot getting you down, talk to someone and try and get a communication going about how you're feeling. Maybe even phone or communicate, or go on to a forum about anxiety. This is the time to study mindfulness, meditate, all these things. So just it's just something I've noticed. The last 3 weeks are all swords cards, and that can have a background effect of us all being slightly over the top with stuff going on in our minds. Now, the Queen of Swords is actually a Gemini card. She represents women over about 30 that are of the air signs, Gemini, Libra and Aquarius. And so anyone born in the time of Gemini and this time in June would be the Queen of Swords anyway. So for this week ahead, if you've got a birthday, happy birthday, and let us know if you want. But basically it puts the focus on women who are over 30, getting maturer, who are air signs. And if you have one of them in your life, it's important you look to their needs this week, what they may need of you, what they're not saying, what they're feeling, what support they need, and back them up in what they're doing. Because I mean, sometimes swords are, you know, Queen of Swords is quite good at asking for what she wants, but there can be a shy side to the card. Also, this card is also seen as the card of that represents widows. And you know, we all have people round about us that maybe have lost their partners or their husbands, and I think we look after them for the first couple of months, and then we see that they're getting on with it, and sometimes we go back to doing our own stuff. And I would like to use this card this week to remind you that if you have widows round about you, it's not really a widower card, it's a female card. So if you have widows round about you, people that even have gone through truly bad divorces, or their partners have done something that maybe they're like, you know, that's like a death to me, be there and support them as best you can, because they're probably going to need it. Okay, now the court cards have their sort of people meanings and also their energies, and the energy of this card is about, in Rohrig, is about taking off your masks as far as you need to, or as far as you want to. Many of us will have gone through the year so far trying to get rid of this problem or that thing that we perceive that we need to move on from, and we're literally taking off our masks so we can be our authentic self. And this is the week that maybe to either one person or one group or whatever, that maybe your final mask can come off. There's an energy with the Queen of Swords of her telling of her sorrow, of telling of who she is deep down, you know, because I used to call this card the nippy sweetie card, and that's a Scots term for someone that is a wee bit of a a wee bit nippy and a wee bit of sharp tongue and always in other people's business or knowing things. And I christened this card the Nippy Sweetie card and even put it in my book. And maybe that's a wee bit unfortunate as well, because there are really parts to this card that maybe force people, women, to be nippy sweeties. So if you've got a nippy sweetie round about you this week rather, kind of look beyond their mask and really try and see what's going on with them, because there's more than likely going to be a reason for their nippiness. So as an energy, remember that it's about either taking off your masks to be your true authentic self, or it's about dealing with sorrows and trying to get rid of masks that we put on to hide ourselves. That's kind of my interpretation from Rohrig. But remember, it does have the astrological signs and the aspect of widowhood round about it as well, and sorrow. If we look at it in generalities, for everybody, it can be a card that forces change, and it can be a card that comes with its own kind of edgy energies. So watch your tongues this week. Make sure that you're not being too sharp with people either. Now, if we look at career, the Queen of Swords could be a person that could mentor you this week. That's a woman over 30 and up, who has good communication skills, who can be a wee bit full of discipline, and also have concern that you can be the best that you can be, and be prepared to kind of push you forward. I'm a bit like that with when I mentor, and actually I'm the cusp of Taurus Gemini, so I do understand this card. If I'm mentoring someone, I'm not going to be that kind to them. I'll be kind to them, but I'm not going to go there if something needs to be worked through by them themselves. So I do know the Queen of Swords. But in your career this week, make sure that you understand that someone might have your best interests at heart and be telling you the truth and telling you to get a wee bit more disciplined. And if you can listen to that and see it as constructive criticism, then you'll probably benefit very well from it. If we look at health, again, it does have an energy of sadness. I know this sounds crazy, but also with the mask coming off, I use this as my psoriasis card, or, a kind of peely eczema or even dandruff, because literally the skin's coming off, the skin's been shedded. So watch out for your scalp, keep your scalp healthy, and for anyone that has eczema or psoriasis or very dry skin condition that comes off, try and look after your skin and watch your stress levels this week, because you'll know yourself that stress can really be bad for those conditions. So watch your stress and watch your skin and your scalp this week. If we look at relationships, if you're looking for one, then there could be a lovely person out there with humour, that's an air sign, and that is ready to come into your life and talk to you and make sure that you listen. The Queen of Swords can be quite a talkative card when she wants to be, but she can also be quite silent too, particularly if she's not comfortable. But yeah, the Queen of Swords can bring a nice partner to you, an air sign, older woman or mature woman, which we take of 30, 35 and up now. If you're in a long-term relationship, you might find that there's things you have to shed about it. Maybe you've become too bogged down in a way of thinking. Maybe you've started putting masks onto one another. I think the worst thing in a marriage is indifference. And when you're indifferent to a person, or they're indifferent to you, the masks go on and you just almost superficially smile, or you go on with your stuff and you're not really caring about them in any way. This card can point out that there's indifference sneaking in, and it can also be one that allows people to move forward towards divorces, letting go, but with that comes a degree of sorrow. But it is what it is, isn't it? If you're looking at money, Queen of Swords, she's a person that can make money through communications. So if you work in the communications industry, even if you're a talker, a writer, a performer, even if you are an actor or actress, This is your week, so you know, you might have your income, but you can do something that would bring in more, that's more to do with communication, even the internet. Things like that can bring in a wee bit extra money. Even doing surveys, I suppose, but through talking and communicating, there can be ways of pulling more money in. So Queen of Swords, she can be a sad card. She can be a very helpful one too. I'm aware that she's the third Swords card out in 3 weeks. So again, watch mental health, watch just the way that you're treating folk, because that can damage people. If you're not being nice to people, if you're not showing kindness, you don't know how bad a day that person could be having. So just be careful out there, and try and spread a wee bit of happiness rather than sorrow. Many blessings now. I hope you liked this weekly tarot card. My book, Tarot Novice to Pro in One Book, is on sale in all Amazons, and if you like the way I read the tarot, you might like that. So many blessings. Please give me a thumbs up and let me know what you think of this week's card. Bye now.